Okay, we get it. Kling 3.0 is insane, just like everything else. I'm sick of every best new AI video generator being overhyped just to fall flat when I actually use it. Over the past few days, I put the new Kling model to the test with prompts designed to break it. Here's the reality of Kling 3.0. Big thanks to Higgsfield AI for giving me early access to this tool so I could test it out for you guys. They're also the sponsor of this video. You can try Kling and all of the other best AI models on Higgsfield right now, and if you're quick, you can also get free access to the site with 5 Pro Plan codes that I've hidden throughout this video. There's one on screen right now. Good luck. First, let's cover the most important thing that most people fail to even mention, which is cost. Kling 3.0 doesn't actually cost any more than its predecessor, Kling 2.6. A 10-second clip with audio on Higgsfield is 20 credits for both models, but 3.0 provides much more control, and up to 15-second run times, which is longer than we've ever seen before. Other models like VO 3.1 cost way more, almost 3 times as much for an even shorter clip. This is boring information, but it's great to know because now as we go forward and test the model, we can take value into consideration. Not that we really have to, and you'll see why. Let's take a look at some of the major quality tests that I did to see how this model holds up under subtle emotion, complex camera movements, grounded realism like UGC content, and then my favorites, complex action and dramatic scene control, including dialogue and character consistency. Many AI models really struggle with subtle emotion. So I gave Kling 3 this really complex prompt to display a young woman's shift from joy to concern. Pause the screen here if you want to read the full thing. This is a double test because I didn't give Kling a start frame for this generation, so this is a pure text to video generation test as well. Here's the result.
Hi guys, where's mom?
Out of the gate, this is just, it's kind of incredible. I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but it certainly is the best depiction of human emotion that I've ever seen from an AI. She's got this slightly bouncy energy for the joy that then kind of settles, and the way that her eyes glance around and her cheeks drop, even that like little lip drop at the end. This is scarily good. I'm really not trying to overhype the model because not all of my other tests went this well, but if I was directing a movie and I got this performance, we'd be moving on to the next shot. Speaking of moving on, another common pain point for AI is camera movement. They just don't seem to want to listen. To test Kling 3 on this, I created an image of a Pixar-style chef in a kitchen and gave a complex prompt describing all kinds of fancy camera movement. I wanted the camera to follow him over to the fridge, then get close when he cuts some things, then go to an overhead view, and finally pull back, all without cutting. Here's what it gave me. The end result was really impressive. It followed all of my camera movements to a T. There are definitely some artifacts that make the shot far from perfect, like a warping knife here and like a warping ladle here, but as far as camera movement goes, it actually excelled. So far, Kling 3 has been really impressive. You can't argue with that. But I did start to run into some issues with my following tests on realism and action. Starting with realism, I wanted to see how this model would perform with like a UGC style video with an AI influencer.
Wow, oh my gosh, you guys. Oh my gosh, this might be the best thing I've ever had. Holy cow.
This result is okay. I do think it falls apart a little when she takes a bite of the toast, and if you look closely at the lip sync near the end, the audio seems to be like just slightly off.
Oh my gosh, this might be the best thing I've ever had. Holy cow.
That said, like all of my tests, this is a very difficult thing for AI to do, so let's see how it performs against VO 3.1 using the exact same prompt. And remember, VO is 3 times as expensive.
Wow. Oh my gosh, you guys, this might be the best thing I've ever had. Holy cow.
Go back and watch the Kling 3 version again. It obviously looks way better, but if you go back and listen to the audio again, that difference is night and day. To push Kling 3 even further, I tried to generate like a home video style clip using this prompt. This scene has a dad trying to like document a part of the family's life on one of his son's birthdays. But after trying twice with slight prompt tweaks in between, both results were kind of atrocious.
Say hi!
Hi!
Today's Joey's birthday!
It did get most of my direction about the audio and the camera movement correct, but the visuals are really kind of scary. Now for action. AI up until now really has kind of sucked at action because there's some pretty complex interactions between characters in action sequences. The thing is, I freaking love action, so I designed 3 different tests at different difficulties and then ran them all through Kling 3.0. The first is a sword fight in a medieval setting. Take a look. Looking past all of the obvious AI warping and artifacting, Kling actually did really well here. I think the fight has weight, it feels real and grounded, and honestly, I kind of buy the swordplay. Is it shippable in any capacity? Heck no, but we are getting closer. Next, I tried a more modern action scene with like a military unit taking on some zombies. Again, I want to look past the persistent AI weirdness and acknowledge that this generation is actually leagues ahead of what we had before. It's not perfect, but I'll prove that it's better. Here's the same scene generated using Kling 2.6.
Watch your 6. Zombies on the left.
And the zombies are behind them. This is bad. And here's video 3.1. I mean, this kind of just looks like garbage all the way around. Finally, here's Kling 3 again. Now I want you to go back and specifically look at the muzzle flashes. Let me know in the comments if you notice anything about them. My final test is a much more complicated one. It's a baseball pitching sequence. This just, well, let's say we're a long way from getting complex baseball mechanics right. Now we've seen how Kling 3 performs in action sequences, but you might have noticed something different about these. All of the generations have a number of different shots to them. Action scenes in movies typically have a ton of different cuts to kind of add some energy and some action to it, but this is a pain in the butt to do with AI because keeping consistency of the characters and the scene in between different generations and having to generate like 5 different really short clips and edit them all together is a headache. Kling 3 somehow found a way to fix this issue with Multishot, which is a new feature where you can describe a bunch of different shots all in one generation. That's how I got these action scenes, and I think that it is by far the most impressive thing about Kling 3 alongside the model's audio generation. To test just how good Kling 3 is at audio and scene recognition, I gave it this big old prompt describing a dramatic scene from a movie that I wrote like 5 years ago.
Paul, eat your food.
I'm working on it. The only reason I eat this slop is so the cigarette tastes better afterward.
Obviously, kids don't smoke. That's a problem with this character. But the scene speaks for itself. Literally. The performances of the characters are really dang good, and without even giving a reference image for the sun, it created something that matched the scene perfectly. Also, the audio is excellent. Here's a frame of reference of what Kling 2.6 sounded like compared to the new Kling 3.
Paul, eat your food. Paul, eat your food.
The 2 father performances side by side are a crazy leap. We're only gonna get better from here, which is crazy. After practically zeroing my account credits to test this, like the video please, I did notice one major bug. Kling 3 has a whole new elements feature that allows you to upload a character or object model to keep it consistent through multiple scenes. But it doesn't work without a start frame, which seems to at least partially defeat the purpose. And when I tried to use it in multi-shot mode, it completely broke the generation. Instead of giving me multiple scenes, it gave me one long shot of the farmer speaking gibberish.
So you other return to babos in her bovary.
And it wasn't just a fluke because I did this twice and it did the same thing.
Multishot.
But then when I removed the element tag from the prompt boxes, it actually gave me a decent result. So in the end, Kling 3 might actually live up to at least some of the hype. I can honestly say that Kling 3.0 is worth it. It's a great model, potentially the best model at a really good price. If you want to try it out, again, I've got a link below. And if you want to see my full unsponsored review of Higgsfield AI, you should check it out right up over here. It's a really interesting service with a lot of features.